The spider statue. We must get closer. There's sure to be an inscription. Something. Look! The spider statue. We need to get closer to see how it works.
Hello friends, Max18363 here, and this is part 14 of my Maidens Eye Might and Magic playthrough on hard difficulty with narration, chapter 6. I can't for the life of me remember what the level's called. Sorry about that. And this will be video 1 out of 3 for this level. So we are now away from the orc sections now. We are down in the crypts, underneath the islands now, deep underground. And it is rumoured that within these crypts is where the mythical Skull of Shadows is located. That is, of course, the whole point of the game, to find the Skull of Shadows and either accept or reject our destiny. Sounds more dramatic than it actually is. But this level does present quite a few new challenges now, because we now have an even tougher enemy to deal with now. The game does have a lot of steep difficulty spikes, and this level is no exception. I mean, we've gone from blackguards to orcs and a few goblins, and now we're on to zombies, or the undead as they're referred to during the game. Zombies, undead, whatever you want to call them. And they are nasty. We did, of course, I think we did. You do see a couple in the prologue level, right, kind of in the very start of the game, but they're really, they're nothing really compared to the full-scale undead that you have to deal with in the crypts, for various reasons, really. They have a lot of the same problems that you're presented with against the orcs. I mean, they can take a lot of damage to actually kill. They can deal a lot of damage. They have the same...
It's here! Beyond that door. Oh, can you sense it?
They have the same poisonous attack as the spiders.
See the plaque? The 4 sockets are for 4 gems. Urgash knows where the vermin in these tombs might have hidden them. Now we need to figure out how to open that door.
So yeah, they have the same poisonous attack, but if anything, it's more difficult to avoid it, and therefore more annoying. Because they're poisonous attack, yeah, like I say, very difficult to avoid it. And one thing about this level as well is that they are always in numbers. I mean, there's some sections, there's probably, at times, I've been faced with like a dozen, probably more on the screen at the same time. Not so much in this particular recording, because you can see, as you can see, this is one of the few levels in the game where you can, for the most part, just avoid combat, and to be honest, you're kind of better to do so. Oh, by the way, up in the rafters of the room that we just left, there is actually a soul drinker sword that you can collect. I don't bother with it because I don't use it, but it's there if you want it. A bit of jumping around, but it is there in the corners somewhere. I'll just quickly remind you that's a sword that steals health from your enemies as you hit them. But yeah, for the most part, I try to just avoid fighting the zombies, because for one thing, because there's so many of them, they're so tough to fight, they can kill you so quickly. The recordings of this level would probably be about 3-4 times the length. It does take quite a while to slowly chop your way through all these zombies, and I don't think it'd be particularly fun to watch. It's kind of boring for me as well. It just makes a lot more sense to just try and avoid them when I can. And apart from anything else, there isn't really a great deal of special loot in the level as such. I mean, there are items, of course, lying around. There's a chainmail, there's an arcane robe, there's a Naga silk sword, and so on and so on. But by this point in the game, you should be pretty much fairly set in terms of weapons and armours to pretty much do the rest of the game. Yes, there are a couple of things left that I'll pick up as the game goes. I've still got the Master Thief outfit, which we'll see in Chapter 7, and a few other, yeah, there is a more powerful bow and stuff like that, but pretty much in terms of weapons and items and stuff, I'm kinda pretty much set now until the end of the game. And so it's just a bit illogical to go to all that effort trying to take down all these ghouls to get weapons that I already have. Yes, of course there is potions and stuff lying around, including antidotes, which you should grab. So I do grab some of the potions and stuff. The antidotes are always handy. During the course of this particular video, you might notice, I don't know, hopefully it'll be fairly seamless, you might notice one or two wee edits. As you can see, there's quite a lot of jumping around, up rope bows and all the rest of it. I do make a mess of one or two of the jumps and get killed off, so I've just trimmed them out. But hopefully you should notice it. But I mean, just for the sake of argument though, I mean I did, not in this playthrough, but when I was playing through this level on a previous occasion, partially just to see if it was possible. I think it was just a normal difficulty. I did one afternoon sit and plough through all the zombies. I think at the time I had a more kind of combative character build and put a lot of points into strength, and so I was using the best swords and stuff available to me. Yes, it is possible to circle strafe around them all and bash them all up with your swords. You can kill them off, it just takes a very long time, and if you get your timing wrong, they can clubber you very quickly. It just takes a stone age. The same if you want to go down the archery route, if you want to try and assassinate them all with your bow and arrow. Again, it can be done, but be prepared to fire off an avalanche of arrows. If you don't have an infinite quiver, you're going to be struggling, because it can take multiple arrows, even to the head, to take them down cleanly. Occasionally, I think if you can catch them unawares, you can occasionally get a one-shot, one-kill if you hit them just right in the head, but most of the time, yeah, be prepared to fire off multiple arrows. Even if you've got a strong bow and that, their health is really, you could argue it's a bit overpowered, their health. It's just a lot less stressful, a lot quicker, and a lot more efficient to just simply just do what I'm doing here.
Those are Arrington's dogs, they must have found a way in.
A lot quicker and a lot more efficient to just simply stick to the high ground and just slip through the area. There is a couple of ghouls dotted around as well. They are very tough to take down, so I think in this room, I think one of the side alleys, you've got your chainmail armour. In the middle of the room, there's a locked case. If you've got the burglar skill, you can pick it, and of course there's potions dotted around, but I just slipped past. The other thing about the undead as well is that obviously I've kind of got a fairly stealthy character build. Unfortunately, my backstab ability doesn't work against the undead. You can, you know how on numerous occasions I sneak up on enemies and with daggers you can slit their throat basically, but you can't do that against undead for some reason. So even trying to sneak up on them and slit their throat you can't do it, so kind of at a loss. I mean, to be honest, my character's actually pretty vulnerable in this level because I can't use my sneak attacks. I can't, at the moment I'm still using basically one of the weaker swords in the game. I'm not particularly proficient with magic, and I've only just started to put some points into archery, so I've for this particular level, perhaps I haven't got the best character builds, but like I said, it doesn't
Maidens
matter,
Eye,
because
an artifact of fate and doom. It's nearby, somewhere above us.
you can just slip by. If you have I mean, that's one of the gems you need to collect to get into the main sort of chamber area. Telekinesis makes that a hell of a lot easier, as you can see. If you don't have telekinesis, or a scroll of telekinesis at least, you can use your rope bow, get up to the rafters, and you can sort of climb closer to it, and you can sort of get to it that way. But it's quite a lot of legwork, so telekinesis is just saves a lot of hassle. There was actually a health potion in that barrel that I just shot there. I tried to get it with my telekinesis, but obviously it's too far away. Couldn't get to it. Not to worry. Now that chest there, that's your arcane robe. It's no use for me, but it's just to let you know it's there. There's a couple of scrolls of charm as well. I don't pick them up because I've got the spell, but it's there if you need it, if you want it. Yeah, you can just sort of zip through here and, avoid all the combat. So this just round the corner here, you have, now this is probably one of the strongest weapons in the game, regardless of what class you go, but you need to be a warrior to use it. That is the Sword of Dragonclaw. I might need to double check that name, but I'm pretty sure it's the Sword of Dragonclaw, and it is the strongest, most damaging weapon in the game. Its base damage has a damage rating of 9, so that makes it stronger than all the other swords. Plus, against undead, it doubles. It has a damage rating of 18 against the undead, so you can pretty much decimate undead and ghouls very, very quickly with the sword. However, there is a catch. I can't use it. I can't use it at the moment. There is a reason for this, but I'm not going to spoil it right now, just in case you're not aware of the story or whatever. But you need to perform.
It makes me feel uneasy. It's unpleasant to lift it.
Those are evil, dangerous weapons, Sareth. Weapons of the Dragon Knights. They were holy fanatics, in league with the 7th dragon when he tried to murder your father.
All I'll say right now is that you need to kind of perform a ritual of sorts quite late in the game before you can finally use it. But this is the only point, this is very important, this is the only point in the game that you can pick up this sword. So if you want access to it at all, you have to pick it up here or you will not get another chance. So it's very, very important. This is your only opportunity to get this weapon, or you wouldn't be able to use it. Like I say, you need to perform a certain something later in the game to be able to use it. But that's later. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time. Take it easy.